Listen, the weather is changing, the sun is shining, and that means time to pull out that spring-summer wardrobe, which is what I did this weekend, and it was depressing. Yep, it was depressing. I feel like I've been pulling out and packing away the same clothes for 10 years, and they are tired. I'm not trying to complain, but getting dressed for this job is not always easy. I don't have a clothing allowance or a stylist, so I'm always trying to mix and match and squeeze into clothes that have long since passed their expiration date, which is what led to the idea of doing a closet refresh, getting rid of some stuff, adding new stuff in. Now, usually I would do this kind of thing behind the scenes, but that doesn't help anyone except for me not looking like a clown on TV. So I'm like, why don't we just invite everyone along? And here's the other thing. I didn't have a big budget for this, and I thought, what about using one of those online thrifting sites? So I've tried Poshmark in the past. It's fine, but you're bargaining with other people, and shipping can be expensive. But like, this is the 21st century, so I thought I can start searching for something else. But lucky for me, I happen to know a savvy stylist. Enter Darcy Camden. Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I called her and I was pretty upset because I'm just like, I don't know what to do with myself anymore. My body has changed, everything, blah, blah, blah. And I said, hey, can you help me do a style makeover with a budget? And you introduced me to an online thrifting company called ThredUp.
Oh, my favorite. I love ThredUp. I use ThredUp for clients and projects all the time for years.
Okay.
So it's one of my secret weapons as a stylist, and I was really, really happy to introduce you to some of the hacks and tips that I use.
Which we're gonna get to in a minute. But first, let's start with where I was at when I was, because we've cleaned out my closet before.
We did, yeah.
But I was like, you were asking me about my personal style, which I thought was really interesting, like likes and dislikes.
So we first need to think about, like, well, what even is personal style? Because people talk about it like it's this musical talent that some people are born with and some people are not, or it's like this hidden treasure that we're trying to find.
It is.
That's not how I think about it at all.
Okay.
I think about it like a pros and cons, like your likes and your dislikes.
So that easy, huh?
You know what you like and you know what you don't like.
Okay.
And so I literally do this, and as we're going along and we're trying things, we're adding to both sides of the column.
Okay.
Okay? Attitude is very, very important. It's the most important first step to all of this.
Yes.
And you luckily had an awesome attitude.
Did I?
Yes, but sometimes I meet people and they're kind of like, ugh, I hate shopping, and they're grumpy, and they're not very positive, and they have they're stressed out, they're bummed out, they're really bringing a lot of negativity into the process. And as a stylist, there's really nothing that I can do or say or show them that's gonna give them an entirely different disposition. So I think the best styling really comes from a place of joy and positivity and curiosity and just overall good attitude.
Okay, so like if somebody doesn't like shopping, like I used to love it, I don't like shopping anymore.
Yeah.
What do I say instead of that? Like, how do I reframe it?
Instead of I hate shopping,
Instead of I hate shopping.
You could say something like, it's really important to me to be comfortable, so I put lots of effort into finding clothes that make me feel good.
Okay.
So changing that narrative around it for yourself is really like a crucial first step. Before we do anything, we check our attitude.
Yeah. And you also told me to pick out 4 style icons, which I've never done before. Like, I like certain things, and you said, who are your 4 style icons? And I said, I'm never gonna be able to dress like these ladies. And you said, that's fine, let's just look at it.
You know, I always like to kind of ask people, who do they look at in the culture? So you said Kate Middleton, you said Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City, and then you said Rebecca from Ted Lasso. And I was like, perfect. So we want to kind of identify what you really excavate, what you really like about what they're all doing, and then we're going to merge that all together. So we kind of came up with, like, you like tailored, you like a little bit,
frivolous,
a little bit funky, and then also very colorful, which works well on this set.
Okay. So after we did that and we talked about that, you kind of said, let's get honest about buying the buying process. I am not Sarah Jessica Parker. I'm not going to DG and buying lots of things. So you say it's all about honesty and acceptance, which I think that's how I ended up saying, let's do thrifting.
Totally. The best styling is rooted in reality.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have to be honest about budget. We have to be honest about time. You don't have a lot of time. Online was a great, resource because we didn't have time to go to all these different stores. And we're also want to be eco-conscious, conscious of the environment, and
that is very important to me because I've been a terrible abuser of fast fashion in the past, and I want to change those wicked ways, and I have tried because this is important. I do love thrifting, but you told me, okay.
All signs pointed to ThredUp for this, which is great. ThredUp.com, which is a site and an app.
Yeah.
And it's the world's largest online thrift store.
So I go on there, And I was instantly overwhelmed.
Instantly overwhelmed.
It's like there's so much I don't know how to do.
We're talking hundreds of thousands of items, new items coming in daily. It's a lot to wade through.
And so your tip is filter, filter, filter.
Yes. So when you know what you're looking for and you know what you like, it's very easy to search by brand, by size, by color, and here's a big key, by condition. So for you, we searched for new with tags.
So no one's even ever worn
No
these.
one's ever even worn these things. We knew some brands that you liked.
Yeah.
You like Donna Morgan dresses.
Well, yeah, I mean, that, like, for all news anchors, these Donna Morgan, we all have these dresses because they're easy, they're good colors.
So very easy
I could
to
just
sort of
search that.
Yeah. Yep. You could just search this, came in new with tags. We're talking about $20.
And you found that?
Yes.
You found the dress I am wearing now?
Everything here on this rack, new with tags. So that's a great first place to start. If you want new things, you can actually search that way.
And you also said, so I came to see you, and you were like, we're going to trial this on. I was like, I don't know. Because
it was a lot of stuff.
It was a lot of stuff. And it's also like, hey, is it going to work? Is it going to fit? So this outfit fit me. You found these beautiful pants, and you gave me, and that's not my best picture, ladies and gentlemen. That's me on a Friday morning, by the way. You're welcome.
I said we're just going to try everything with an open mind.
Yeah.
And, you know, going back to the likes and dislikes, if we find something that we don't like, we think about, okay, do we not like the neckline? Do we not like the sleeve? Do we not like the fabric? Do we not like the color? And we break it down and we add to each side of the column. Because even something that you're not getting can tell you a lot. We like the color, we like the sleeve, we don't like the fabric. You know, so we tried on everything. The next step is really like, okay, if we like it, what are we wearing with it? So it's not just a blouse. Like a blouse by itself is nothing to you. So we want like, okay, if you're wearing this blouse, what are you wearing with? And ideally, we'd like to have multiple combinations because you have to look really different every day. You know, so if it's a blouse, can we put it under a jumpsuit? Can we put it with pants? Can
and
we
this
put it
was
with
the blouse that you picked, and I loved it. And you put it with pants, but you also put it with this jumpsuit, which I didn't realize. I would have never put that under a jumpsuit. So now you know you can get a jumpsuit and a blouse and use it as two different outfits. What? There you go. That's We did the same thing under a sleeveless dress. And there's multiple pants that it also goes with and a skirt. So that was great and very exciting. The other thing I didn't actually think about with this is that you can be a little bit more brave on what you pick. So she pulls out these pants.
Trying is not necessarily buying, you guys. There's no harm in trying things.
Trying is not buying, and I probably would have never picked these pants because I'm like, I don't know, Darce. But I'm glad that you picked them because, and there's no commitment. Like you can return things on this site. A lot of other sites you can't.
Yes, you want to be careful about some items that are marked as final sale because they're so inexpensive and they are trying to like move them out.
But what do I put with this? I already forgot.
So we did a top. It just came off, but like we did a top. There were multiple tops that kind of went with these pants.
And then you said this
one.
They
were comfortable. We also did a little bit of like a sit test where we sat down because you sit down when you're on the show. You're sitting, you're standing.
It has to look good when you're sitting.
It has to look good when it's sitting. You have to be able to move around. And so that's the other thing. Like it's not just about finding a piece. It's how are you wearing it? Where are you going? And it's also being all right with something not working out. That's totally
something you may
fine.
love, but it's too small, like that red dress. And they had shoes. This is what I didn't realize. You had shoes, and I'm glad because I never know what shoes. You always have. You just a mad shoe game. You guys can't foresee it because it's on her feet.
And this might seem like it might seem small or insignificant to a makeover, but like really when you're putting an outfit together, I always either bring shoes or have shoes because I don't think an outfit really is finished and you can get the full picture of it until you're in the shoe. So there were some things where we put an outfit together and then you were like, I don't know, and then we put on the shoe and you're like, okay, well now I see it.
That's a good point. Also, we're about 30 seconds left. You say take a second swing because some things don't work out. Some things like this dress
we are going to take a second swing. There were a couple of things that we didn't love. Maybe they didn't fit well or we deemed them to be not quite right for work. And so guess what? We're going to send them back and we're going to take a second swing. When I'm working with someone, there's almost always like a second pass that we do.
Yeah.
We learn things in the process.
Yeah.
We sort of readjust and then we go back in and finish it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to you. I realize how blessed and lucky I am that I have somebody here that can help me, but I hope all these tips helped you because this was a really hard thing for me. I've been really struggling with clothing and everything. So thank you,
thank
love.
you for sharing. I think a lot of people can relate to this. And, you know, ThredUp is such a great resource for everybody who is feeling the same way that you are.
I'm really excited. I don't know.
Me too.
And by the way, we're going to have all of Darcy's tips linked on our website, as well as her advice to navigating the thrifting websites like ThredUp. So go check it out.